Hey guys, so you're moving to Baltimore City and you have a $400,000 budget. We think Hampden is a great neighborhood if you want to be close to the action, but also have a great community neighborhood feel. I'm here with Caitlin and Nick. We're going to talk all things Hampden.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. So Nick, what is it that makes people just love Hampden?
I mean, everything. It's a vibrant restaurant scene, vibrant nightlife, excellent community, great location. I mean, you can't go wrong with a neighborhood like Hampden.
Yeah, it's very quintessential Baltimore as well. And like Nick said, it's just close to everything. You're right on 83. You can get to the county easily or downtown easily. And it's a perfect location if you work at or go to school at Hopkins.
Yeah. So in this description of this video, we're going to share a dynamic market data link that will show you the last 3 years of all the important data points that we're going to talk about. Now, one of the things that's happening in Hampden is happening all over the country, all over the state, all over our city, which is we have low inventory. In April of this year, we have 45% lower listings, almost 50% lower listings than we did a year ago.
Yep. And pendings are down 20% about year over year as well.
And that data easily translates to like what's been selling, because not only from this time last year over year, but also from last month, we're down 33%. So there's just not a lot of inventory, and it translates to not a lot of closed sales.
So in April, the 5-year average of days on market. Now, the other thing too is 21211. This zip code also includes other neighborhoods than Hampden, right?
Yep, it includes Woodbury, Remington,
Medfield.
Medfield.
Yeah. And so we're sharing market data for the region. We are talking about what you can get for $400,000 in Hampden, but because of the specificity of the data in a zip code and the way that people list properties differently, it's easier just to give the zip code data. But so that data does include some other areas, like we just said. So like I said, in the description, you'll have the link to the dynamic data. But back to days on market, it's down at 12.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, super low.
It's almost the lowest it's ever been.
Yeah.
And then
Which is crazy.
Not really dramatic, but the sales prices are selling at just over like 101% above the original list price.
Yeah.
Right. But so what's that tell us? What's happening to the pricing, to the average price?
The average price is being driven up. I mean, right now it's up about 13% year over year. So that's fairly dramatic. It's an extremely competitive market, and all that competition is definitely driving up pricing.
I think personally what's a little bit more dramatic is that it's 18% from last month.
Right.
It's gone up.
It's gone up.
Yeah.
Like the median price has gone up 18%.
But also,
last month.
new listings have stayed the same. So 33 new listings in March and 33 new listings in April. And pendings are up, which is driving days on market down.
Yeah.
And you're seeing this competition. Like, it's a really tough zip code to get into.
And what Ron said just up to that point, he said that it's 101%. So what you're seeing it being listed at versus what it's closing at means that you need to be prepared as a buyer, especially if you're a first-time home buyer, that you need to budget yourself to go over list price in this market right now, because it's such a desirable and competitive neighborhood.
And I think we're past that confusing period where the national media was saying that the prices are coming down as interest rates go up. But the thing that they didn't bet on was sellers are stuck in what they call, the golden handcuffs. They got this interest rate they don't want to lose. They don't want to lose their 2.8 interest rate and buy a new house at 7%. I mean, personally, I'm looking at that like all of the savings I would get, moving in an area with lower taxes. I'm gonna, the higher interest rate's gonna make up for it. And it doesn't. There's not a savings,
right?
Right. So we're locked into this 2.8% interest rate. As much as we want to move, that's gonna prevent us, right? So what you're seeing is nowhere close to the normal amount of listings. And then another unique thing is renting is like really on fire right now, right?
Yeah. As a result of that, what you're seeing is buyers are kind of getting a little discouraged based off of the market. So it's this competition's translating to the rental market now.
Yeah, we had a rental listing where we had over 100 showings in the weekend, and I think like 10 applications. And it's actually driving the rental rate up, which is insane. It's not insane, but I've never seen that.
Yeah.
I've never seen that much competition on a rental where it's driving,
it's driving the rental prices
the
up.
rental price.
People
People
are
are competing for it.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
are paying more than what the average like rent is. I mean, for example, with this one, it was listed at $2,100 a month, and I was overhearing yesterday that people were offering $2,400 a month. So they were paying $300 a month more for
Right.
this rental.
Just to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the trick is that, like, if you're a first-time home buyer and you're renting, or you're still at home with your parents, or whatever the case, like staying month to month to wait until there's a break in the interest rates. They're kind of trending downward now. You're going to start seeing more inventory. You're going to start seeing more sellers having to sell and just dealing with it. That's what happens. Like, you end up the market first. Get shocked by something, and like when the rates went up to 7%, buyers are like all freaked out. Then they came down a little bit, and then things start to open up a bit. So you want to have as much flexibility in as a any kind of buyer, because the market conditions are going to change. They are going to improve. But if you're a buyer right now and you have to buy and you want that area, you have to be prepared. You have to be ready to make really good offers that make sense for you. You have to be, your agent has to be on point. You got to be a great communicator with the listing agent. You got to do everything like really, really good to compete.
Yeah. Yep. Especially like Hampden specifically. I mean, I showed a house in Medfield this weekend that was listed at $275, 2 bedrooms, really cute house, and they had just put it on the market on Friday. They already had offers in hand, and they were calling a deadline Sunday midday.
Yeah.
It's like you got to be on it.
Right. And so the buyers, are still, like, a lot of them are like thinking, from what they were seeing that the prices were going to be coming down. Like, it's really surprised a lot of people that we're in this kind of condition that the lower inventory is created with this propping the pricing up, especially in this area where it's people are overpaying listing. We're seeing that dramatically happening more, I think, in this city neighborhood than some others that we've done, like
Agreed.
Fells Point and Canton.
Agreed.
It's the average price is going up dramatically. So you're having, like a lot of competition, low listings. Let's get into the types of real estate and what price points they're selling for. In this zip code, let's talk specifically Hampden, because we're going to circle back and then we're going to get to what you can get in Hampden for $400,000. If you can get it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can get it.
Okay, so Hampden does have some smaller row houses in that less than 1,000 square foot, 2 bed, maybe 1 full bath, maybe a half bath. What can you find that type of house in what price range?
Those are going to be anywhere between $250 to $350, depending on the amount of work that they need and where exactly in Hampden it is.
Yeah. You can find some more much smaller ones, I would say, for closer to 2. Obviously going to
As you
need
get closer to Woodbury.
as you get closer to
Falls
Woodbury, you're seeing probably anywhere between probably like 210 to 235. They will need some work, if you're willing to kind of put your carpenter hat on, do a couple things.
So, on the east part of Hampden, you have Johns Hopkins University, and then you have Wyman Park. And would you say that's the more expensive part of Hampden? I think it is. And then as you get closer to Woodbury, you start to see some smaller houses. And then once you start to get a little bit north at Medfield, but once you get closer to the avenue and closer to the park, you do start to see some grander houses. So let's talk about larger row houses. Some people would call them townhomes. You have end of groups, bigger houses, maybe 3, 4, even 5 bedrooms. What kind of price ranges are you seeing in that kind of housing?
3 bedrooms, I mean, you're more in the $350 to $450, possibly up to $5, if it's like really nice finishes.
Yeah. And the good part about Hampden is it's such a interesting neighborhood in terms of the variations of specifically those houses. You do have ones that have extremely deep lots that do have garages and yards. Some just have yards, some just have parking. You actually have detached homes. There's a few blocks and streets where it's a row home, a typical row home, but you don't have neighbors to the side. You have windows and alleys, so it's literally a detached house that just looks like a row home. There's such a variation of real estate there, and porch front homes is a big thing that's about in Hampden too. So you can get a lot of variation, and that obviously comes with variable pricing as well. Like Caitlin said, you do have these 350 ones, but then you have the deeper lots that go up to 450. So it all depends on what accommodations are on your list, and that's what you're going to end up paying for.
Well, and I think that's actually a really good point about just what makes Hampden so different from the other desirable neighborhoods in the city like Fells Point or Canton, is that you're so much more likely to be able to find like more of a yard and a porch. Like having those outdoor spaces, you are so much more likely to find that in Hampden. I think that's a big part of why people look there.
Yeah.
Now, I did sell a house in Fells Point once that was about 700 square feet and had 7 monster trees in the backyard. It was a one-off, right? But it's not an uncommon thing, especially as you get closer to Woodbury, where you see some trees in the backyards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there are some new construction in Hampden, certainly in Medfield and Remington. New construction or newish construction, garage, townhomes. What price points are we talking there?
450 and above, depending on, there are some that are, 2016, 2017, 2018 builds that are becoming resales now. You can get around the 450. And then for the newer constructions, you're talking probably in the around 500,000.
Sure. Not really. There might be a condo or two somewhere in Hampden, but it's not really a condo scene
No.
in Hampden.
No.
They'd be more closer to Johns Hopkins University. So you'd have to cross Wyman
Different
Park.
neighborhood,
Yeah,
right.
it'd be a completely different neighborhood.
Okay, so let's talk about what you can get for $400,000 in Hampden. Can you get? What's a good option in Hampden at $400,000?
I think that $400,000 is a great budget in Hampden. I think that will get you like a quintessential, maybe 3 bedrooms, has been updated in the last 5 years, but might still need a little bit of elbow grease. You'll get a yard or maybe a parking spot. I think that you can get something nice in Hampden for
agreed.
$400,000, but you're going to have to be really competitive and like watch and wait and be like
Right now.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really, really competitive. So Caitlin, Nick, and I are real estate agents. We're with the Greatest Moves team at RE/MAX Advantage. Our office is in Fells Point. We work all over the city. We certainly work in Hampden and Medfield and Remington and all those neighborhoods. You'll see throughout this video, or you've seen, links to some of the other videos we've done in Hampden. So if you like this content, please subscribe, like this video, and we look forward to seeing you next episode.